other lineup changes to mention right now?
Forrest comes in, Bobby Brink's out.
Anything in particular you want to see out of Tyson's game here, bouncing Nick?
Everything.
You talked yesterday about the structure and issues with the structure. Is part of that the transition game, and how do teams kind of have figured out how to stop the transition?
No, the biggest thing with our structure is our tracking, our back checking. It may seem a little weird to talk about that part of the game through the lack of our offense, but we cannot. That's our identity. Is tracking back so our D can jam the neutral zone. That's where the transition comes off of. In viewing the tape last night and showing it to him this morning, we are void of, we're flat. We're 3 flat in the offensive zone. We have 0 depth within the offensive structure, and our back checking and tracking is just not there.
What's kind of the message in terms of the penalties, and did you kind of control that a little bit?
Simply be disciplined. Yeah, I think there's a little bit of just the concentration of it, the concentration of where your stick is. That's all. It's not something you practice. You don't practice discipline as far as penalties. You just need to have the proper mindset of how this game is called now, and concentrate on that, because it has really put us in a situation in the early games here of trying to get any flow within our game.
Is Brink's game okay, or is he just odd man out?
No, Bobby's game, offensively he's done some good things, but there are other things in his game that he just simply has to get better at.
What are you looking for Tyson when he comes back in? Obviously last season
Everything.
He had that slow start.
Everything.
Is it shooting?
Everything.
In terms of, Sean Couturier talked yesterday about like the lines and how, every game seems to be different lines, but a lot of it he said is because of the penalties.
That's bullshit. What are you asking me about the lines?
Well, just in terms of, are you finding it really hard to find the chemistry because you haven't played so much 5-on-5?
Oh, okay, yes.
You are the lowest team in terms of 5-on-5.
Yes, yeah, and rightfully so, because we're like I said before, we're not to our identity at all. As far as, I think last year we were one of the top teams in the offensive zone. We're not there because of the A before B. We have no depth, no tracking, no support as far as us jamming the neutral zone. So that just allows teams to play through us, and they spend time in our end zone. So you can, when you're having a struggle like this, you can look at a lot of different things that's going on with your team. I'm looking at one thing, is how we track. If we track the proper way, I think other things will get solved.
There's no panic with the 5-on-5 because it's so limited
No.
in terms of the ice time.
No, not at all. No, there's no panic at all. I think one of the most important things is that we all keep our composure, but understand a huge part of our game isn't consistent. And so we're going to continue to work at it.
You mentioned that there is no panic there, but when you continue every single game to be down in the first period or be on the power play, does it kind of get you a little bit in a mode where it's like you just want them to play 5-on-5, or is it just one of those things where you're just hoping a bounce like on the power play goes in, or you're just trying to minimize like penalties in the first period and different things like that?
Yeah, I'm not sure what you're asking, but we need to stay out of the box so we can get some flow and allow ourselves to get to our game, and that is playing more in the offensive zone and allowing our D to step up. And we're trying to play forward. It's hard to play forward when you're killing penalties, and it also takes a lot of energy out of our penalty killers as we've gone through this. And it's something we haven't gone through in the past couple of years, because we've been a pretty disciplined team. It's just happened that way in the first few games here, and we need to correct that.
John, was the first period, I know there's 2 shorthanded goals, but was that better the way you kind of wanted to play though?
It was okay. I thought it was better after the game last night, but when I watch it, it was okay. I think we have a good team. I think we know how we have to play. We just haven't done it consistently enough, and that was the main focus of our meeting this morning when we met with them. And as I said, I'm not trying to throw a whole bunch at them, because I think sometimes when you're, 1-4-1 right now, you start throwing all things around. I want to work on one thing, and that's making sure we have support so we can control the neutral zone.
All right, thanks, Coach.
Okay.